Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to give a quick take on Barbarian. So let me give you the synopsis, and this comes from AMC. In Barbarian, a young woman traveling to Detroit for a job interview books a rental home. When she arrives late at night, she discovers that the house is double booked, and a strange man is already staying there. Against her better judgment, she decides to spend the evening, but soon discovers that there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house guest. So, so this movie is like a thriller horror film combined, sort of. And I kind of left a little bit disappointed. I enjoyed the first half. The first half was really good. Um, the ambiance of the film as an audience member was really thick with suspense and not knowing where it's going to go. That's what I really enjoyed. Also enjoyed the direction of how the film was looking, the cinematography and all that. Everything. The first half, like I said, the first half was really good, and unfortunately, the second half just didn't live up to the first half. It kind of unraveled, honestly, when the reveal of basically what the the evil is, or the scary part, right, of the horror film, the big reveal. That to me, that just felt like a gimmick almost, and, I mean, you can kinda say that about all these films, but there's some that pull it off better than others, and this one for me just didn't really, um it just didn't come together, and it wasn't just wasn't a satisfying, um, kind of, uh, the evil, I guess, if you will. So basically, like it says up there, she goes and she stays at like a Airbnb. She books an Airbnb, but there's someone staying there already. And so, he invites her in. He's already inside the Airbnb. He invites her in. She stays in the bedroom, and she's there for for a job interview. And the first night, nothing happens, right? But you kind of, like I said, the suspense is there, is thick, right? Um, so then in the second night, that's when everything starts going crazy. Because then she then discovers there's like under the basement, there's like another door, and there's like a room that has a camera, and there's blood on the walls. There's a bed. So something happened, right? So she's freaking out. She's like, "What the hell is this?" But she gets locked in the basement because the door closes behind her, and it gets locked. So she has to wait for the guy that's already there to come back later that day, and hopefully, he can, unlock the door, and she can leave. So that's what happens, right? He comes back, he unlocks the door, and she wants to get the hell out. She just wants to leave. But he tells her, "Wait, let me go," because she tells him what she saw, and he wants, he doesn't know, right? He wants to see it. So he goes down, he gets into the room, but he never comes back out. And so she calls for him, right? His name is Keith. She's constantly calling for Keith, like, "Hey, Keith, Keith, answer me, answer me." He doesn't answer. She goes down, and he's not in the room. He's not in that room that she saw. But then there's another room that she discovers, and then she hears his voice calling out for help. So she's like, "Holy crap!" Right? She's afraid, but she wants to go help him. So she goes down, and so she meets up with Keith, and Keith is like, "There's somebody here," and she's like, "Let's get out," and he's like, "No, no, no, wait, don't say anything, be quiet, someone's here." And then that's when the monster gets revealed, and this is naked lady that's all um I don't know, it's weird, disfigured, or like an animal sort of type of look to her, and she basically just smashes the head of Keith against the wall, and he dies. And then the monster screams at her. I don't remember her name in the movie, but screams at her, and that's where the movie cuts to another scene. So it completely changes. The tone of the movie just changes to another scene, and it seems like we're in California now because this being placed in the Airbnb is in Detroit. So now we're in California, it seems, and we're seeing the story of an actor that's getting accused of rape, right? So it changes completely, right? And which is fine, which is cool, right? When things happen like that, that happens in TV shows where it'll change, and then it can either be really good or it can be pretty bad. And unfortunately for this, sort of comes up, it's not great. So he ends up the guy that it's in California is Justin Long. Justin Long's character, he's the owner of the Airbnb in Detroit. So he ends up traveling there, stays there because he wants to ultimately sell the house because he's getting accused of rape. So he has to pay his lawyers. So he wants to basically sell the house. That way he can have money to pay the lawyers. And then he gets to meet the monster. And what basically what the monster is an inbred. We see the backstory of the people that used to live in that house, and the man that was there. He would kidnap women. He kidnapped at least one woman, um, had a baby with her, and have a baby with that baby, and then so on and so forth until basically we got the monster, right? So it's an inbred, and that's what we find out basically in the third part of the movie of what it is. And for some reason, I guess they're trying to explain because of the inbred that it has like it's super strong. Because at one point it picks up a grown man and just rips the hell out of his arm. So it's not a supernatural thing, but it's almost like a Michael Myers type of situation where it's not like I said, it's not super it's sort of supernatural, but it's not at the same time. It's a human, but sort of has like these supernatural abilities, like super strength and because they got run over by by the female and didn't die. Um, falls from a water tower. There's blood all over, like from the head all over her body, and still doesn't die. So there's a lot of just doesn't die, and I don't know the inbred stuff. I guess maybe in paper it sounded cool, but in when it was actually shot and what the product that we got, it just didn't really work for me. The payoff wasn't there, at least for me. That's what I felt. It's cool that it wasn't like a technically like some type of monster, that it was still human, but eh, eh, eh. So basically, what it was doing with her, it didn't kill her because it was keeping her like a baby. It was kind of being like a mother to her, but still forcing her to stay there. And she would kind of try to protect her a little bit. It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird, and if but at the same time, it was like a murderer. So they at the end they kind of try to make her seem, kind of give her like a redeeming factor, the monster. But she ends up shooting the monster in the head, and that's just where it ends. So it's weird, man. So like I said, the first half was really good. I really enjoyed the first half. The second half and the reveal, it didn't pay off for me. Uh, but the best part of the movie by far to me was her, Georgina Campbell. I kind of don't remember her the character's name, but she was great. She really brought it. She was really good in this film, And honestly, she's the one that sold the film for me, and it wasn't a complete letdown because of her. She was the best part by far in the whole film. Bill Skarsgård, he was good. He played it, the killer clown, and he was good too. He was pretty good because you didn't know if he has that face. Like, is he the bad guy? You're always thinking, right? Because he has that face for it, and but he was good, and he ended up dying. Like I said in the first half, but like I said, she drove the movie home for me, and she was good. She was great, but unfortunately, it would have been cool if maybe the whole film was with her and she would have just like fought her way out, or something different would have happened instead of getting abducted by this inbred that wanted to keep her as like her kid. Like I said, it just didn't work for me, that premise. So it was unsatisfying for me, and unfortunately it was. And but like I said, go, like I've said before, go check it out for yourself. Maybe you'll like it more than I did, and if you did, that's great. But it's just, it's sort of in the middle for me. It's not a great, horror thriller film. It was okay at best. Yeah. So I mean, if you enjoyed this video, well, thank you for watching first of all. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what do you think. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see other content of mine, check out my other videos. And I appreciate you watching this video. And thank you. And see you in the next one. All right. Goodbye.